That's me, Franny.
Hi, welcome to FrannyTings, bitch. We're officially on episode 6. Okay, consistency. Didn't think I would make it this far, honestly. This was an idea, and I'm like, I'm just gonna roll with it. But hey, look, it's working out. You know, if I can do it, you can do it. Start a fucking podcast, bitch. Period. Today, we're going to be talking about how to not give a fuck. This is very important, especially to me. I think that we just have to live our lives, and a lot of people are scared of fully being themselves because of what other people have to say about them, especially in the times where social media exists. We're constantly comparing our lives to others, and I'm gonna teach you, or I guess give my opinion on how to not give a fuck, literally. But you know, with every success story comes, its failures. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about what kind of started me, or what kind of led up to this process of how I learned not to really care about others' opinions. That doesn't mean like I truly don't care about what other people have to say. I do. I'm accepting of constructive criticism. But as for like insecurities, obviously I do have those too, but I don't let it get to me or affect me the way that I used to. So, I would say my God, I can't talk. I can't breathe. These pants are so tight, bitch. My insecurities started when I was in, I believe, 7th grade. So, all of elementary and like 6th grade, I was like a class clown. I really didn't give a fuck. I was that weird girl that like would fart and like do all this like stupid shit. And I didn't really care what other people thought about me. But when I got to middle school and like I started noticing the trend of like boys liking specific type of girls that had bodies, and there was girls going through puberty like young as fuck, and I wasn't one of them. So I saw girls with like bigger boobs. I saw girls with like a thick ass, and I was like, oh my God, like I have nothing, like, and I did want the attention of like, boys, because I started liking boys. I got my period in 7th grade, so like, my hormones started kicking in, and I was like, oh my God, what is this like heat coming from my vagina? Like, I think it feels good, but like I don't know. So I started going through the notions of puberty, and this is when I started becoming insecure as fuck. I noticed that I was like gaining a little bit of weight, and it wasn't like a lot of weight. It was just like more like I would say like baby fat, because I got my period. I think you retain like more water or something. So I started noticing that the girls around me, like, again, had these nice ass bodies, and I was like, damn, like I do not look like that, like. And then I started caring like what other people thought about me. So like I would try to be funny, and like people didn't understand my jokes or like whatever, and then I was like, I guess I'm just like not funny, and like maybe I should be kind of like everyone else that's kind of boring and I don't like fucking make jokes. So I started molding myself to what the people wanted versus like who I really was. So this was like 7th and 8th grade. And then I got to high school. Bitch, high school. I think we all have experienced like major insecurities in high school. So from freshman year to, I would say, like junior year, this is like the main insecurity I had. Insecurity. The main insecurity I had from freshman year to junior year was my weight, for sure. So I never was like quote unquote a big person, but my freshman year I did gain like maybe I would say like 10 pounds, and the reason why is because I got into high school, and bitch, it was like a whole new world. They had vending machines full of Pop-Tarts, chips, like fucking ice cream. Then they had pizza, Papa John's pizza, and I'm like, oh my God, like a whole new world. So bitch, I was eating pizza at like 10:30 in the morning, like fucking ice cream, chips. So I gained a couple of pounds, and I didn't really care too much, but at the same time I did. And also like my friends group were never consistent. Like the people who I went to middle school with, we had different lunches, and I didn't have any classes with them. So I had to learn how to make friends. And the thing is that the friends would constantly be changing. I didn't have like a solid group of friends, and I thought maybe that had to do with me, or I'm not sure, but it was just like a weird time. So I think the ending of freshman year, I went to a pep rally, and there was a dance group called Ebony. And I was like, damn, like they're good as fuck. Like I know how to dance, bitch. Like I've been a dancer kid all my life, a musical theater girl. Like I know how to do this. So I'm like, I'm a fucking audition. So I auditioned the ending of my freshman year to Ebony, and it turns out I didn't get accepted. But I think it's not because I was bad. I just think because one of the judges didn't like me. For what reason, I still don't know to this day, but it was weird and I didn't make it. And I was kind of sad about that too, because I'm like, damn, am I not good enough? You know, another insecurity. And then moving forward, my sophomore year, I was like, bitch, I'm gonna try out again, because they have auditions at the end of the year and the beginning of the year. So sophomore year, in the beginning of the year, I try out and I fucking get in, bitch. Never give up, period. So I get in and I start going to the practices. And again, I noticed that all the girls there had like a body, you know, they had big boobs. And I noticed that in formation, if you guys are familiar, oh my God, I can't talk. If you guys are familiar with dance, we have formations, and obviously everyone wants to be in the front. That's always the goal. And I wanted to be in the front, but I noticed all the girls that were in the front, they had to have a certain look to themselves and also popularity rank, you know? And I get it, because, you know, when you're watching a performance, you're like, oh my God, look at whoever this person is. But I was always in the back. And I was like, damn, I really need to work my way to the front so I can like fucking make it. Like that was my goal. And when it comes to dance, I wouldn't say I'm a perfectionist, but like I am, because I want to make sure I give my 100. And that's the type of person I am. Like if I'm doing something, I'm going to do it right. So this made me want to completely change, not myself, but physically. I wanted to lose all the weight that I gained my freshman year. And I started running like a mile every single day. I was doing a bunch of workouts. I changed my diet completely. I wasn't eating no pizza, like chips. So I completely changed my diet. I lost like 15 pounds. I went to 140 to like 115, but I was really skinny. Like it low-key didn't really look that cute, but I was really skinny. And then I remember that I was super insecure about my legs, which now I'm like, I'm a model. Like I love my legs. They're so long and dainty, but I was super insecure about them. And I would always wear sweatpants. Like I always wear pants. I never wore shorts or skirts. So then I started noticing that the coach, John, he started noticing the work I was putting in, not like losing weight, but more so like the dancing technique. And he started like moving me more up front. And that just made me like feel very validated. And I'm like, oh fuck, like the closer I get to the front, the more insecure I became, because I was like, okay, if I move closer to the front, that means more people are gonna look at me. So that means I have to be skinnier. Like I have to keep getting skinnier the closer I move to the front. So junior year comes along, and I feel like at this point, since I was in the team for 2 years, I got to know all the girls and we were like pretty close. I got to know the coach, and there was this one practice specifically that we were having dress rehearsals for the pep rally in junior year. And I forgot what the outfit was. I'll put a picture here because I know I fucking have it. But it was like some black and a black top made out of pantyhose, which is like, but it came out kind of cute. And then like leggings, and it was pretty tight. And I remember that I was like looking at myself in the mirror in front of all these girls in the dance room, and I just started crying. Like I started bawling, and then they were like, what's wrong? Because I'm not that type of person to show that emotion. And I was like, I just feel so fat. And they're like, what do you mean? Like, you don't look fat. And then all the other girls started crying, because I guess they also felt like kind of insecure being around certain other girls that have better bodies, you know, better bodies, whatever. And we just had a little moment that like we were all very vulnerable and very insecure together in that moment, and we kind of lift ourselves up. We were like, oh my God, like, you know, we're all beautiful, like we shouldn't be thinking this way, and we're gonna kill it. And we just all hyped each other up. But it felt kind of good that other girls felt that way, because I felt like I never expressed that to my friends or like to my family. It was more so something I held within myself, and I was never happy the way I looked. I would always look in the mirror and feel like I was fat or like I was ugly. And like, I don't know, that's just something within myself that I felt. But I don't feel that way anymore now. I slightly still have insecurities. Like my little pudge right now like isn't the bestest, because I just know personally within myself that I can do better. And that's the thing. Like I shifted the mindset of like comparing myself to others to comparing myself to me. I am my own competition. So then in college, I had a new set of insecurities. I feel like my insecurities, when I learned from one, I developed a new one. And I think that's only okay because, you know, we're human and we're evolving. So my insecurity throughout college was not knowing what I wanted to do in life. I was super lost. And if you heard my first episode, I talk about this. But I was super lost. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I felt like everyone around me knew exactly what they wanted. And I remember, oh my God, this is so bad. But I remember the first day of college, or I don't know what it was. I think it was like a seminar or some shit, like when they do like a little PowerPoint and then you pick your classes. So I was in that and I was the first one to go up. So basically you had to introduce yourself and say like what you wanted to do, like what your major was, right? So I stood up and I was like, my name is Francesca Roger. And honestly, like, I don't really know what I want to major in, but like, I'm just here to figure it out. Like, like enjoying the ride, you know? Yo, the embarrassment I felt after what this bitch said to me, she was like, you see, that's what we're not going to do. And I was like, excuse me? I'm obviously exaggerating a little bit, but like, you know, I have to be funny. But she's like, you see, that's what we're not going to do. She's like, you know, I know you guys are still figuring it out, but like you should come in here at least knowing an idea of what you want to do. Like if you're just thinking of something, a dream is just a dream if you're not making actions towards it. And like I always got that shit from every single advisor I went to. It's not like they were helping me trying to find something. It was more so like, well, what? Like, what do you expect me to do? You know, it was always that attitude. And I'm like, yo, fuck these people. Like I would get so upset and that made me really insecure because I'm like, damn, like am I ever gonna succeed? Am I ever gonna be like, you know, the person who I always thought I was gonna be? Am I gonna make my parents proud? So that made me very insecure and that lasted for like around like 2-3 years of me being in college and not knowing what the fuck I wanted to do until I found what I'm doing now, which is like my passion, like content creating, like modeling, like all these great things. So moving forward, a new set of insecurities came in, and this is where I really want to get down to the bottom of it, which is social media. Social media has caused so many insecurities within individuals, whether men, women, whatever it is. We're constantly comparing ourselves to people on social media. Filters, bitch. Filters are huge. Like, creating huge body dysmorphia. I have even thought about getting my lips done because I'm like, damn, like what if I look like this? Like, but then I'm like, yo, like if you look like that, you're gonna look like every person using this filter. You know how many bitches be using this filter? A lot of them. So you don't want to look like that. That's what I be telling myself because you can get caught up in that. The movie Social Dilemma, the documentary, if you haven't seen it, go ahead and check it out. It's really fucking good. And it just shows you that how much social media has an effect on us. Now, I am an avid user of social media. I'm not saying that like I'm super against it or any of that, but I am going to say this, and this is something I always tell people that are complaining how social media is self-sabotaging them or sabotaging them in general to think a certain way, to compare themselves to others, is we create our own algorithm, okay? Think about that. We create our own algorithm. If you don't like something, you can easily block it. You can easily mute it. And that's the beauty behind social media, is you have to learn how to control it. The way that the algorithm works is if you're interacting with something constantly, it's going to keep showing you that same content over and over again because they're like, oh, this bitch likes this content. She keeps liking it. She keeps commenting on it. She shares it on her story. So let's go ahead and keep sharing whoever this profile is, right? So if you are the type of person that you like stalking your ex, if you like stalking this girl that you think looks better than you in a picture, or reading through hate comments and liking the hate comments, they're going to keep showing you that. But if you can beat that and start muting things that you don't want to see, start blocking people you don't want to see on your timeline, and start, you know, actually interacting with content that's going to benefit you. For example, I can use myself. I love psychology posts, like anything that has to do with therapy or like self-care, self-talk. I love that. So I'm constantly liking it, commenting on it, reposting it, because I know the more I do that, the more it's going to show up on my timeline. And hey, might as well share it too, because if it helped me, it definitely can help other people. And that has happened so many times personally on my social media, where I share something about a therapy post and people have replied like, wow, this helps so much, thank you. So it's little things like that where I mean that you can create your own algorithm. And I know comparing yourself to others on social media is like a huge thing, but we have to remember that 90% of the people on social media are only posting good things that's happening. A girl can be posting a picture of her in the beach, but in reality, she's at home crying, or in reality, she had such a shitty day that she wants validation from others. So therefore, she's going to go ahead and post a picture. Bitch, I did that. I fucking did that once, and I caught myself. And I'm like, you know what? Instead of hiding and running away from it, I'm literally going to make that my caption, like posting this to get validation from others. But let's not forget who real Franny is. So following that cute picture I posted a bunch of pictures of me crying, looking like shit, because that's the reality of it. Yes, I might be posting a picture where I look good as fuck, but I'm not always looking good as fuck, bitch. Like, and that's what we have to remember. Everyone is human, and social media perceives it as like we're robots, and we're just this one thing, and that's not the reality. Like, we have to remember that. And as a content creator, sometimes I do, I guess, compare my work to other people's work. I feel like that can be an insecurity, like my body and shit, like whatever. But like my work, when it comes to my content, I'm like, oh my God, like this bitch like has been killing it, like damn. But I learned to shift, like, damn, like, am I not good enough? That feeling when it comes to content, to I should learn from this. Like, yes, let me keep following this person and let me keep, seeing how their method works. And like, instead of becoming jealous or running away from it, like indulge in it, because like maybe that person has something missing that you don't see, and maybe vice versa. You never know where that can get you. Imagine if you DM that content creator that you love so much, and in reality, they are seeing your page too, and they're like, damn, I see that you edit videos, for example. I don't know how to do that. Can you teach me? And I'll teach you this. It's all about collaborative effort. And I feel like a lot of people, they run away from doing so because they think that they just have to be better and be better, because that's what social media makes us out to be, and that is not fucking true. Moving forward, I want to discuss confidence and self-love. So I talked about that in my last episode. Self-love is everything. Dating yourself before you literally date anyone else. You have to know exactly what you want. But confidence comes from, I would say, within, obviously, and it comes from also not caring what people think, and understanding that the way that people perceive you has everything to do with themselves. So, for example, today's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's! So I posted a piece of content that had to do with Savage Fenty, like Rihanna's lingerie line, and myself, I probably wouldn't have posted that like 2 years ago, but like I learned that like you really don't have to give a fuck what people think about you, and it's a little seductive, I would say. Let's say if someone looks at that post, right, and they're like, damn, like she's looking like a little hoe, like with this lingerie, like who does she think she is? That has nothing to do with me, because like I said, I know who the fuck I am, and I know what I can bring to the table in any situation, and I know my content is fire as fuck, bitch. But the other person, the reason why they're perceiving that or why they're thinking that is because that's what they think someone would tell them if they posted content like that. It has everything to do with them and nothing to do with you. So I learned that actually, I think like on freaking social media, on one of those therapy posts. I'm like, damn, that's so true. Because sometimes when I think about it, when I'm judging someone, I remember that I'm like, no, that's an insecurity I have. That's not something that they have, and I shouldn't be thinking that way at all, because it has everything to do with me and nothing to do with them. So whenever you're caught in that action of judging someone, just remember to look down deeper within yourself and think about a reflection. Why the fuck do I feel this way? Because sis, literally has everything to do with you. So yeah, I just think social media, everything is about creating your own algorithm, understanding the algorithm, and how to beat it. Because if you're constantly on your phone and you're attached to it and constantly caring what other people have to say about you, that is not it, sis. And I know this is coming from someone who uses social media a lot, and this is my outlet to showcase my content. But at the same time, I don't let it consume me. And I think what made me not let it consume me is being real. Like, if I look like shit, bitch, I'm gonna post myself looking like shit. But if I look cute, best believe I'm gonna post myself looking cute, because that's just how it is. I just really don't care what others perceive of me. I have literally posted a video of myself crying, and it wasn't to get attention at all, because I don't even like that type of attention. Like, bitch, I'm not the one that likes all the spotlight on me. Like, I don't like that. I rather thank everyone around me and make it about everyone except me. But, you know, I feel like posting that made people understand, like, okay, like, maybe I can relate to Franny. Like, maybe she's not just this person that's constantly posting like really cool edits and cool videos. Like, she's only human too. And I think I wish, you know, that more people were like that. And I actually have a friend, his name is Emery, and like, he posts a video the other day of him crying, and you know, the next post was him like being happy, and he was like, you know, I just want to show you that healing is a beautiful process. Like, I just finished crying, I feel like refreshed, I just had to let it out, but now, you know, I'm moving on, and that's what healing is. And when he said that, I was like, wow, this is so beautiful, because this is the message that like I like to portray on my page as well. And if more people can get into that, like, I guess that algorithm, or within that version of themselves, like, I feel like social media will be such a different place versus comparing ourselves to one another and just making this like super toxic, you know? I actually saw this TikTok. I don't know if you've seen it. Like, so I saw this TikTok the other day, and it said like why TikTok is gonna become like the new Instagram. And it's because they're like glorifying everyday life. So I don't know if you guys use TikTok, but there's this TikTok, or there's a bunch of TikToks that like they make everyday life look aesthetically pleasing. Like, I wake up at 7 a.m. and then they pour the coffee, and then they make breakfast, and then they go to work, and then they come home and they watch The Office. And that's the whole TikTok. But it just makes it look like, okay, like, bitch, that's me. And they're making it look cute. Like, and then you start understanding that, like, damn, everyone is kind of more or less the same. We just try to cover it up with like glitter and gold, and it's not always that. And we just have to remember that. So moving forward, I want to talk about this because I think that it's important. I low-key like still considering making the short film that I wrote, but the way that I view Instagram is so much different than I viewed it before. So I was going to make this short film called Update Successful, and it was about a girl who is social media famous, and one day she gets an update on her phone that deletes her from Instagram. So therefore, she no longer exists in the real world. So every single time she tries to pay for something, or she runs into a friend, or runs into someone who would naturally know her, they didn't know her. It's like she didn't exist. So she gets taken to this lab, and in this lab, you know, she gets asked all these questions about who she really is. And it turns out that she was like a social experiment to this group. So it's kind of a fire like plot, you know. I tried. But at the same time, when I thought about it, I was like, what message am I portraying doing something like this? Like, am I saying that social media is a bad place? Because I don't think it is, unless you make it a bad place. And I feel like that's what it was aiming towards. Like, social media is bad, stay away, because it's going to make you look like this girl. And that's not realistically true. Like I said, it has everything to do with you and how you use it and how you abuse it. Bitch, period. So yeah, I scratched the idea, and I was just like, I don't think that this is the right image I should be portraying. Like, maybe I can shift it around a little bit. But and another reason why I didn't make it was COVID hit, and it was for my film 3 class. And I was just like, yeah, like, maybe it's just like not meant to be, because it was the third time I tried making it. I wrote the script, I pitched it, didn't happen. I wrote the script, I rewrote the script, pitched it, didn't happen. Then I finally pitched it and it finally got accepted, and then COVID hit and I was just like, yeah, third time's a charm, baby. Like, maybe it's not. We're all human. We're all insecure, and I fully understand why we would be, because sis, me too. You know, I obviously I'm insecure. I can be insecure about my weight sometimes because I'm like, damn, like I don't look like that. But then I have to remember that, again, I don't have anything done. I don't have fake titties. I don't have a fake ass, which I'm not against, you know, like I'm all for it. If that's what makes you happy, then that's great. But me personally, I just find it so crazy, that ideology of cutting into your flesh to feel like, you know, you have to be accepted or feel beautiful. Like, to me, that's kind of sad in my, like, just in my eyes. But that's like same thing with braces. Like, I know braces is not kind of like a cosmetic surgery, but you're still causing yourself slight pain, you know, to have this like great smile. And I'm not saying that, you know, everyone gets braces to have a great smile, because I know that there's some hygienic things. Like, I'm not a fucking dentist or orthodontist, but I know there's some hygienic shit that like some people need braces. But for me, I just wanted a fucking straight smile. So even that thought is like crazy to me, because we just want to feel like a part of something. And because we want to feel part of something, we feel like we have to literally go under the knife, and just it's crazy. Like, I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't want to get like backlash and be like, what the fuck you trying to say, my titties be fake? And it's like, I love your fake titties, girl. Like, I'm all for it. Like I said, I'm just saying the ideology behind it is what's wild to me. So moving forward, we're all insecure, and that's okay to accept. But I think maybe as a whole, we should be more open about that and communicate it, you know, with our friends, with our family, on your story. I look a little fat today, you know, period. I'm bloated today. I'm on my period. Look, I'm on my motherfucking pimples. I think it's important that we share that, not because we want pity or whatever it is. I just think it's important that we let people know, and the people that are following us, that, hey, we're human, sis, and that's what it is. So if you're looking at this and you might feel insecure today or whatever it is, remember to look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, like, you're that bitch. Like, think about all the accomplishments that you have been able to achieve within a year, within a month. And people think that an accomplishment has to be like, oh yeah, I got a raise, or oh yeah, I got a new job. That's not necessarily true. An accomplishment means, like, if you've been wanting to work out at 6 a.m. and you got up that day to work out at 6 a.m., bitch, that's a huge accomplishment. If you told yourself, I'm going to be vegan for one day, that's a huge accomplishment if you were able to do it. So little things like that is just going to raise your confidence and understanding that, like, you can do anything you put your mind to, and therefore no one can tell you shit. No one can tell you anything, because you know who the fuck you are. And letting people's opinions get to you, remember, has everything to do with them, which I'm still learning and I'm still accepting. The last TikTok that got like kind of like a lot of clout, not a lot of clout, but like slight clout, was my analogy of fast food versus restaurant people. And I got a lot of hate for that. A lot of people in the comments thought it was dumb. They didn't really stay to the end to understand that it wasn't an analogy. They thought that I was like advertising fast food versus restaurants, like literally. And I found it kind of funny when people like were saying these like meaningful things, necessarily not so much like hurting me, because again, it has everything to do with them. Like, you're on TikTok, you're scrolling, and you take the time to go ahead and text something negative. Like, sis, who's really winning here? Because at the end of the day, you're like boosting up my TikTok. So like, thank you. But you know, it's just how you perceive everything, and that's literally everything in life is how we perceive it. Is your shade of blue the same as mine? Exactly. Oh my god, I licked it. I licked the mic. COVID. I need to disinfect the fuck out of this mic after. To wrap up this beautiful segment, which I was all over the place, but you know, my brain, that's how I feel today. It's been a little wild because I've been trying to post my fucking Valentine's Day shoot, and I was like, I don't know if you know that TikTok, but that was me. So I decided to start a new segment. Last time I had a segment called Ask FrannyTings, and I got a few questions, but this week I want to switch it up a little bit since we're getting kind of like deep, which is Epiphany of the Week. This is so cool to me. So my Epiphany of the Week is actually this is kind of like slightly spiritual, so like if you're not spiritual, then like get the fuck out of here, but if you are, like, stay tuned, you know. So the other day I was on a set and I was art directing for this short film called Powers 4, shout out Chris, and I had to write like formulas on a post-it note. Since it had to do with time travel, I was writing equations, I was writing times, I was writing like certain dates. So there was a little computer that I was going to put the post-its on, so it looked like he was like working really hard to figure out time travel, because that's what the movie is about. And I wrote my birthday, I wrote the director's birthday, I wrote like my sister's birthday, I wrote like different dates, and then eventually I ran out of like birthdays and I just started writing random dates that came to my head. So fast forward, this is like 9 a.m, no one was there, I was setting up, it was just me and Chris. Fast forward to like 4 hours later, the actors get there, they start running their lines, we start shooting. Then there was a part where the actor, he's looking at the computer, and then he looks at the post-it note and he goes, oh my God, what made you, who did this? Like, who like made it? And I'm like, oh, it's me. He's like, what made you pick that day? I'm like, what day? He's like, September 28th. I'm like, oh, I don't know. Like, I was writing birthdays and stuff, and it just came to my head, but I don't really know anyone with that birthday. And he's like, that's my birthday. And I was like, what the fuck? For real? And he's like, yeah, that's my birthday. And I don't know what you believe in. Me personally, I just believe in the universe, and I believe in higher power and energy. But to me, that was like two things. One, I am exactly where I need to be. Those little things like that, I think, are not just coincidence. What made me want to pick that date, I don't know. And the fact that it was his birthday, it just made me think that everything happens for a reason, and you're exactly where you need to be. It was just like a perfect sign. And two, there's this TikTok I saw. Me always talking about TikTok. So there was this TikTok I saw that she's talking about time travel. And it's crazy because the fucking movie was about time travel. So like, this is wild. So she was basically saying that time travel does exist. It's just not how we perceive it to be. So what she was saying is that in time travel, for humans, when we're thinking about something that happened in the past, like we're reliving that moment and we're kind of like just feeling it out. That's, oh no, wait, what did she say? Damn, I forgot. And that's what it's like to be human. You forget. Since she's talking about time travel, she's basically saying that it's your future self kind of reliving that same moment, and it's like warning you, you know? So that's what she was saying intuition was, which kind of makes sense, because that moment of time travel, like that whole piece of paper and like him saying like, oh, that's my birthday, like I felt like that was a perfect example of what she meant. Like if you have just like a gut feeling and I'm like, fuck it, September 28th, that was my gut feeling in that moment, and my future self had that interaction with him already, saying his birthday was September 28th, and like my past self went ahead and wrote that. Crazy. So listen to your gut. Always listen to your gut. Always listen to your intuition. That's like a huge thing of mine. Whenever I'm overthinking something, I know it's not for me. Like if I feel safe with someone or something in a situation, I know I am where I'm. Oh my God, I am where. Oh my God, I am where I'm supposed to be. Right. I am where I'm supposed to be. But if I feel like anxiety, I feel butterflies, I feel like something isn't right, and your gut feeling is telling you, sis, don't do it. I feel like that all the time when I work with certain people and business plans. I know when I shouldn't take something and when I 100% should take something, because my intuition be strong as fuck. And yeah, and that was my epiphany of the week. Oh, another one too. So I found this thing on TikTok again. I'm gonna call it Epiphany of the Week on TikTok. So I saw this, I don't know if it was a TikTok or if it was just a post, It's said that like when you're like getting to know someone and you get that butterfly feeling, it's actually not good, because what that butterfly feeling is anxiety, and you're like on edge with that person, and you're like on a high, and you think that that's normal. You think that butterflies is what you're supposed to feel, but in reality it's not. You're just triggering what you're used to, which is like maybe unsteadiness in a relationship, and you're kind of triggering that, so you think that that's normal. But the way you're actually supposed to feel with a partner or with a friend or in a relationship is peace. You're supposed to feel like at home. You're not supposed to feel anxiety. You're not supposed to feel butterflies. You're supposed to feel relieved, like if that is your dessert. So yeah, take what you want with that info. It's Valentine's Day. This is gonna be posted like a week after, but hey, if you and your boyfriend or girlfriend got in a fight, just think about that. Do you feel at home with them, or do you feel butterflies and you feel anxiety? Because if you do, either you got to talk about it with them, or think about yourself. Like, think about what you need, what you want. Anyways, I have to get ready for a date. It's Valentine's Day. Just saying. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed how to not give a fuck. I hope I covered most of it. These are my thoughts and opinions. If you don't agree, that's great. You know, if you want to talk about it, I'm very open to having conversations when it comes to maybe disagreements, because, you know, I'm very open. I really don't have just one thought and I stick to it. So yeah. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you start not giving a fuck what people think about you, because remember, you are that bitch, and what other people have to say about you has everything to do with them. So fuck them and love yourself. Period. Okay, have a good Monday, because that's when I'm uploading. Love you. XOXO.